Francesca! Did you get the wedding invite from my daughter yet? It should have arrived in the mail.
Good morning, Gladys. Yep, Becky's invite came this morning. 2 months on Saturday, right?
Have you seen the venue? I bet you were surprised when you found out she's getting hitched at a hotel of that caliber, right? Right?
Yeah, I gotta admit, I wasn't expecting that. I heard a few celebrities got married there recently. I even read that it's the King of Saudi Arabia stays there when he comes to the States. I thought I was misreading it at first.
That's right! Isn't it amazing?
It really is. I can't wait to see what the ceremony's like.
My Becky outdid herself this time. She really is incredible. I always knew she ended up bagging herself a rich, high-spec guy. We're finally moving into the upper echelon of society, my dear. And this wedding is where our ascent begins. We're going to the moon, baby! I couldn't be more proud of my amazing daughter. Her big brother might have failed miserably, but she more than makes up for it.
Failed miserably? Just to clarify, you're talking about my husband, aren't you?
Of course. Sean's my only son. Who else would I be talking about?
Right, I thought so.
I still have no idea why he married someone like you. I've been racking my brains over it since the day I met you. And I've accepted that I'll probably never understand. Love makes people do the craziest things.
Lovely. Thanks for that.
It's such a waste to think he graduated from one of the most prestigious colleges in America and works for a major global company. But the best wife he could find was a broke loser raised by a single mum. It breaks my heart. It really does. It's obvious you were only ever after his money.
You couldn't be more wrong, Gladys. I love Sean for who he is. I'd still be his wife if he worked at Walmart. The money is incidental. I'm sure Becky feels the same about her husband, too.
I wonder. You may be too wet behind the ears to have realized this, but women tend to be more calculating than men. Not that it's wrong for money to be a priority when choosing a partner. That's not a gender thing. It's a human thing, and it's good common sense in my eyes. But please, Francesca, you can't be serious when you said you would have still married my Sean if he worked at Walmart? Oh, the embarrassment!
Yes, I would.
Perhaps that wasn't the best question to ask you. You can say whatever you like. Now you already have your grummy mitts on the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It doesn't matter, though. I know your true colors, whether you admit to them or not. In any case, I don't acknowledge you as my son's wife, and no children you bear will be part of this family. You're the cursed spawn of a single mother, and we don't need dirty poor people blood tainting our proud lineage. You do well to remember that, Francesca.
Yes, I know, Gladys. You remind me almost every day. But what's wrong with being raised by a single mom? I know tons of great people who grew up without one of their parents.
Everyone knows people raised by single mums are bad. Vulgar, crude people. And it's best to stay away from them and their ilk whenever possible. Now, I understand we are where we are, and that you can't help it. But you could at least go to the effort of not looking like you were dragged up from the gutter. You look more like you belong in a sleeping bag on the street than in Holy Communion with my son. And don't even get me started on your unfortunate face. Your features scream poverty from a mile off. My family, on the other hand, our faces give off an air of refinement and sophistication. Anyone would think we were aristocrats from the way we look. You're a filthy peasant at the genetic level. I almost feel sorry for you. Imagine being cursed with that face not even a broke single mother could love. People probably cross the road when they see you coming because they think they're about to get robbed or catch malaria.
That's enough. Stop talking about my mom.
Oh dear, is someone angry? Do forgive me. I didn't mean anything by it, darling. You know how me and you love to tease each other. Still though, no kids after 3 years of marriage? Forgive me if this is inappropriate, but is there any chance my son's fed up of looking at your brute face every day?
Gladys, this level of rudeness is totally uncalled for. Please, stop.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, dear. I told you I don't mean anything by it. It's just a bit of playful teasing. It's true, though, isn't it? Can't he even bring himself to look at you anymore? Take a chill pill. Careful, dear. All that stress will make you even uglier.
Sorry, I have to go. I'm on my way to your mom-in-law's house now.
Ah, yes, of course. You're due to see the old hag today. Be a darling and say hi to the old hag from me, would you? That is, if she hasn't kicked the bucket and started decomposing already. Oh, I'm counting on you to change her diapers, dear.
Gladys, it's about your mom-in-law. It doesn't look like she's gonna be able to make it to Becky's wedding.
Oh, really? Why not? Is she too embarrassed to be seen in public with her urine bag?
Jesus, Gladys, was there any need for that?
I'm pleased, though. It'll be a nicer day for everyone without that loudmouth interfering old hag there to bother us. Her body might be falling to pieces, but unfortunately, her mind is still sharp enough for her to be as irritating as ever. She's constantly on my case about something. I prefer to keep our meetings to a bare minimum.
She's done so much for you, Gladys. How can you speak about her like this? Why is it so hard to show some respect?
She's done so much for me, has she? Please, don't make me laugh. All she does is send me money. It's hardly like she goes out of her way. She'll be lucky if she even lives another 2 weeks. What use is that money to her? It's only right that I get it. I'm fit and healthy, and can put it to far better use than she can.
This is your husband's mother we're talking about here. What's your point? Should I prostrate myself before her and thank for existing?
My husband's dead. Why should I still have anything to do with her? She should be in a home already. Why, oh why was she so insistent she had to live on her own in that apartment block for old people? I swear my phone rings every 5 minutes with something. Please, will you come see me? I ran out of food. My potty's full. I'm sick and tired of her, and the sooner she kicks the bucket, the better.
But you don't even visit her. I'm the only one who ever goes.
I used to go before you did. Besides, it's your duty as my son's wife to look after my decrepit mother-in-law. I just know you're not complaining about fulfilling your duties to this family. You wouldn't do that, would you?
No. Iris is lovely to me, and I'm happy to help her.
Fantastic! then keep doing it and stop talking back to me. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll let it slide. But back in my day, a wife wouldn't be stripped butt naked and forced to sleep in the yard for giving her mother-in-law attitude like this. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I do hope you're constantly reminding her how worried and concerned I am for her well-being. We don't want me getting written out of the will now, do we?
Yes, I tell her.
Anyway, enough of this drivel. Let's talk about something important. So about Becky's wedding. What will you be wearing?
I was thinking of wearing my dress suit.
Surely not the same one you wore to my cousin's wedding.
Yes, that one.
You silly girl. We're moving up in the world now. You can't wear that shabby pile of rags to this wedding. I advise you throw it in the trash where it belongs and get a hold of something respectable. Besides, it's a wedding, not a freaking business meeting. A woman your age should be wearing a proper dress.
A dress? Okay, got it. I'll arrange something before the wedding.
I imagine you'll probably rent something. But you better not show up wearing any cheap crap. We have a reputation to uphold. Trust me that people at this wedding know cheap when they see it, as do I, obviously. I'll never forgive you if you embarrass us. If you do rent, make it something expensive. Can you imagine the shame if my son's daughter showed up in a cheap pile of rags? We'll never live it down. Do not embarrass my daughter on the most important day of her life.
I won't.
It's easy enough to say that, but I mean it. You better not disappoint me, Francesca. You have the dress sense of a Nigerian tribesman. So I can't help but worry you'll come in something ridiculous.
Relax, Gladys. I'll look the part. I promise. The last thing I want to do is embarrass Becky on her wedding day.
I suppose I'll just have to take your word for it. To be honest, I'd much rather you didn't come to my daughter's wedding at all. But she insisted on having you there. You're lucky. She's a lot more tolerant towards poor people than I am.
Right. Becky's great. She's always been kind to me.
Her husband's family are of excellent prodigy, too. They have records of their ancestry going back to medieval Europe. They even have a coat of arms. Does your family have a coat of arms? What am I saying? Of course it doesn't. Anyway, I digress. Don't let us down, Francesca. If you show up in something cheap and tacky, I can assure you, you'll be the first taxi home. I don't care what Becky says. Hello, Francesca. Thanks for showing your face at the wedding today. Did you leave yet?
Yes. I'm on my way to a place that specializes in dress cleaning. Hopefully I can get there soon enough for it not to stain.
Oh, don't be silly, dear. It was just a splash of beer. You're such a drama queen.
A splash of beer? You poured an entire keg over me on purpose. Right in the middle of your own daughter's wedding! There's no justification for what you just did. You're horrible.
There we go with the over-exaggerations again. It wasn't on purpose, dear. I just slipped is all. Actually, I think I might have gasped in shock when I saw that cheap piece of crap dress you were wearing and spilled some beer on you by mistake. But you know what? It serves you right. I made it crystal clear. You were to rent the most expensive dress you could. This is what you get for ignoring me and showing up in peasant wear. You broke your promise.
I didn't rent it.
Oh? You mean you actually paid for that thing? So that's why you're running around like a headless chicken, trying to get it cleaned. How's your dress looking, dear? It's obviously cheap garbage. Why not throw it in the trash where it belongs?
Wrong. You told me to come looking the part, so I went the extra mile and did just that.
You looked the part in that thing, did you? Oh, the delusion! Now I've heard it all! Go on then, tell me, how much did it cost? 100? Oopsie, my mistake. I forgot that a $100 dress would count as high class to you.
Gladys, I borrowed that dress from your mother-in-law. It's worth over $10,000.
Excuse me?
The reason I'm rushing around like a headless chicken trying to get it cleaned is because it's not mine. I borrowed it. I can never afford a dress like this.
My mother-in-law? You borrowed that dress from Iris?
Yes, exactly.
I see. Is it okay? It's not going to stain, is it?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I still told Iris, though.
You did what? You fool! What have you done? What did you say?
I told her you poured a keg of beer over me.
No. I told you, Francesca! It was an accident! I didn't pour anything on you! I slipped, that's all.
It really didn't look like that to me.
You've got it all wrong! Tell her I made a mistake. Set her straight this instant!
No way. Sean saw you pour beer on me. There are a bunch of other witnesses, too. There's nothing to set her straight on. That's exactly what you did.
Stop talking back to me and message her now! Tell her I slipped.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because I'm your mother-in-law, and that means my word is law!
I'm not sure why you think that, but you couldn't be more wrong.
Yes, it damn well does, you insolent little toe rag! You should be more grateful to me. I let you marry my son despite the fact you were raised in poverty by a single mother.
That's funny. I seem to recall you telling me you don't acknowledge me as Sean's wife almost every day.
You still got married, didn't you? That means I allowed it.
You know, this whole situation used to bother me, but I'm at peace with it now. Whether you acknowledge me or not makes no difference. I'm done stressing myself out trying to achieve the impossible.
You don't get to decide to stop trying to win my approval, Missy! Anyway, forget that. Hurry up and message Iris. Tell her I didn't do it on purpose. I'll make my son divorce you if you don't. Francesca, are you there? There's something I'd like to discuss with you, if that's all right with you. Is now a good time?
Sure, what is it? What do you want?
I want to apologize for what happened with your dress at the wedding. I thought I may have slipped by mistake. The fact remains that you got beer on your dress due to my carelessness. I was in the wrong, and I'm sorry.
I see.
So, do you think you could maybe find it in your heart to forgive me? I feel awful.
I accept your apology. But this isn't a matter of me forgiving you or not forgiving you.
Huh? Why not? I don't understand.
You pouring a keg of beer on me at the wedding was just one instance of bullying in an endless harassment campaign against me.
An endless harassment campaign? I'm not sure Other than the dress incident, nothing comes to mind. I don't remember doing anything else to you.
Of course you don't. No one likes to think of themselves as a bully. I'm sure you don't remember any of it. But I remember everything.
Are you talking about me not acknowledging you as my son's wife?
Oh, look! So you do remember. You justified it all to yourself because I was raised in a low-income single mother household. Or because you don't like my face. You called me every name under the sun. You victimized and insulted me at every possible opportunity. Are you saying you don't remember any of that? Even if you do feel that way about me, some things are better off left unsaid. But you took the pleasure in hurting me, so you went out of your way to make sure I knew exactly how you felt.
Francesca, dear, I never meant to hurt you. It's just that I've always had strong conceptions of how the ideal wife should be. I suppose there's a chance I let a few things slip that I shouldn't have. When I thought you were meeting the standard, but that's all, I swear.
Did me being raised by a single mother, or not, being as beautiful as his perfect daughter-in-law had in your head, cause you problems somehow?
Well, it's not that you caused me problems per se.
So it is fair to say you treat me like crap for the sole reason that you don't like me? Because that's what it sounds like.
I'm so sorry if I felt like I was treating you that way, sweetie. I promise that was never my intention. I'm just a straight talker, that's all. I'm like that with everyone. It's nothing personal. I never tried to hurt you on purpose, not once.
Really? It's funny. You say you're like this with everyone, but you're always super polite and reserved when your mother-in-law's around. Like butter wouldn't melt. It's almost like you're a different person. Despite the fact you speak about her with nothing but malice and contempt behind her back. Old hag this, decrepit old that. It seems pretty obvious to me that you're not so straight talking with everyone. And you know full well who you can get away with treating like crap and who you can't.
Wait, did you tell Iris I said those things? Is that why she cut my money off all of a sudden?
Nope. You really think I could tell her something so horrible? Don't get me wrong, I think she has a right to know, but she'd be so crushed I could never bring myself to do it. Wait a sec. Are you apologizing to me because Iris cut your money off?
Oh dear, it's not like that, I swear. I'm apologizing because I feel truly awful about everything I've done, Francesca. I'll never utter a negative word about anyone from now on. Can we just, all get along?
You make me sick. You wanted nothing to do with your mother-in-law until now. You spoke about her with hatred and contempt and forced what should have been your duties to take care to her onto me. Now she cuts your money off and you're suddenly nice as pie. Whether you apologize to me or not makes no difference to how she feels about you.
Why not?
Because she knows what you really think about her.
Huh?
She might not know what you say about her behind her back, but she told me she's had a feeling you hate her for a long time now. Think about it. She's been giving you money every month for years now. In spite of that, you literally never visit her, and you keep contact to an absolute bare minimum. Don't you think that's a little messed up?
How could it be messed up? You're my oldest son's wife. Looking after my mother-in-law is your duty. I'm hardly a spring chicken anymore, dear, and looking after her isn't light work. It makes far more sense that someone young and sprightly like yourself do it.
You were sprightly enough to go on holidays and to concerts with the money she gave you.
Fine, you win, okay? I'm the bad guy. Please, will you stop attacking me now? I won't be able to get by without that money from my mother-in-law. My husband's not around anymore, and his inheritance is all but gone.
I heard he left you a lot of money. The fact it's almost gone can only mean you wasted it all on frivolous crap.
Francesca, please, I'm sorry for everything. I accept I'm in the wrong. There's no excuse for treating you the way I have. I'm sorry I was so mean to you. I'll never do it again, I swear. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I'll even start looking after Iris again. Please, Will you talk to her for me? She'll listen to you, dear. Will you make her see sense?
But she has seen sense, Gladys. That's why she cut off your money. As for me, I want nothing more to do with you. Sean and Becky told me they're happy for me, never to speak to you again, too. I'm done putting up with your crap and doing everything you tell me.
Don't be silly, dear. How is never speaking to me again going to work? Are you just going to blank me at every birthday and Christmas? What about weddings and funerals? Let's be mature adults about this.
I'm cutting off all ties with you. And not just me either. Sean and Becky said they want as little to do with you as possible from now on.
What? My own children? No, this can't be happening.
They both warned you countless times to stop bullying me. But you ignored them every time. It went in one ear and out the other. They're at their wits' end with you, Gladys. You left them with no choice but to cut you out of their lives. Sean saw you pour that keg of beer over me at the wedding with his own eyes. And he said he'll never forgive you as long as he lives.
Oh, this again! I apologized for that! Speak to him for me, please! I'm telling you, I'm sorry here.
We're way past apologies now. You bullied, victimized, and harassed me ever since me and Sean got married. Whenever I came to visit, you made sure everyone else got to eat delicious, warm, freshly cooked food, while I got a cold plate of leftovers. I remember you even put trash on my plate once. You insulted and belittled me to no end whenever we talked over text. You even treated your own mother-in-law with contempt.
I'm so sorry. You're right, I crossed the line. But I see the error of my ways. Please, darling, I'm begging you. Won't you have a word with everyone and convince them to give me another chance? You're the only one who can help me now. I'll acknowledge you as my son's wife and a part of this family. I'll never be mean to you or anyone else again.
Like I said, too little, too late. Whether you acknowledge me or not makes no difference. Even if you told Sean to divorce me, he wouldn't listen to you. I realized a long time ago, I don't need the approval of the likes of you.
No. How am I supposed to get by on my own? You have no idea how much I needed that money for my mother-in-law. My pension and what's left of my husband's inheritance aren't just going to cut it. I'm begging you, please give me one last chance. At the very least, please convince Iris to forgive me.
If you're well enough to do things like go on expensive holidays and bully me, you're well enough to work. I advise you put that energy of yours to more productive use from now on by getting a job. I no longer acknowledge you as my family. So I'd appreciate if you stop thinking me as your daughter-in-law. Gladys messaged me countless times with groveling apologies after that. But she was annoying me, so I blocked her. I hope I never see her again for as long as I live. Sean and Becky told me they got a bunch of groveling messages begging them for money when she realized her mother-in-law was cutting off the financial support she'd been sending every month. But needless to say, being completely sick of their mother's disgraceful behavior, they both refused to give her a cent. I heard Gladys, begrudgingly, found part-time work after realizing it was a choice between either that or homelessness. But Becky told me she messages her every day complaining how hard it is, and lamenting the soul-crushing despair and loneliness of her new life, and her hatred towards herself for creating it. Of course, there was a time when I wanted nothing more than to win Gladys' approval. She is my husband's mom, after all. But that changed the moment I heard her talking about her aged mother-in-law like garbage. I accepted that sometimes there are people it's better not to have their approval of. And my life has been a whole lot easier ever since. My efforts to win her over were in vain and caused me nothing but stress. Cutting her out of my life was the best decision I ever made, and I don't regret it one bit. I had no idea what her life would look like from here on out. But no matter how bad things get, me and my husband have no intention of helping her. She brought this all on herself, and I think it could actually do her good to learn the hard way that actions have consequences. There wasn't anything in particular that I meant I had to carry on seeing her, so breaking things off was a piece of cake. It's amazing what a breeze life can be when it doesn't have toxic people in it. I feel blessed to be surrounded by my amazing, supportive family who genuinely want the best for me. Here's a shout out to my husband Sean, my sister-in-law Becky, and let's not forget Iris. They're the kindest people I've ever met. It's a miracle that someone like Gladys managed to raise such wonderful kids. I want to dedicate my life from here on out being there for all of them, now and forever, through thick and thin. That's my idea of happiness. I want our lives together to be full of smiles and laughter, overflowing with kindness and consideration, because love is what makes the world go around. Whatever you do, guys, don't be a Gladys.